Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host Scotty McCoy, and boy do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Laura Ellen Wilson, and she played Trinity Reinhart in Friday the 13th Vengeance, as well as Alicia Blake in the upcoming The Poltergeist Diaries, as well as playing Ella in Bloody Nun 2 The Curse, among other things. Hey Laura, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad that we can make this happen. I know you reached out to me for an interview, and I'm like, why not? I would love to have you on. I love, having actors on my show and discussing their experiences in all these movies that they've been doing.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. That was quite the introduction, by the way, as well. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So the first question I got for you is more of a personal thing. How did you get your start into acting?
I've always wanted to act. I guess the start sort of on camera is probably when I was about 12. I do martial arts in the club that I went to. They wanted to do like a promotional video teaching sort of kids about self-defense and how important it is not only to defend yourself but self-discipline. So yeah, I guess that's the first sort of time on camera, and that's kind of where I got the bug. But acting officially, I would say probably 2017, really early in the year.
Okay, nice. So did COVID affect anything with getting spots and roles?
Yes, I should have been to America, I think 3 times now since COVID started. But no, it's not been too bad. I've been really lucky that obviously everybody is in the same situation. So I mean, I was feeling sad about it, but I mean, so was everybody else. So what can you do, right? Apart from go to the refrigerator and eat.
Absolutely. And it's funny because when you messaged me and you told me you were in Friday the 13th Vengeance, I'm like, that is so funny because I had that movie up in my browser as a new tab, like to watch for at least 3 or 4 months now. It's been crazy. Like I've been wanting to watch it, just been so busy that I couldn't watch it. And it's funny that you reached out to me, and I still haven't gotten to watch it, but I know briefly what it's about. And I definitely want to watch it. But I guess, how did you get your part in that movie?
It was definitely a case of right place, right time. So I was in another movie called Monster by Matt Shaw, and Matt is he's an award-winning author, and he has a lot of his fans over in the US. So he took Monster over to premiere at Seattle Crypticon. I went over with him. I ended up meeting the director of Vengeance, and at the time it was in pre-production. And he said, you can audition for me sometime. I thought, he's probably just saying that, just to be nice and everything. I got back to England and he reached out to me and he was like, hey, yeah, I'd really like you to audition. I auditioned and he asked for an American accent. It was horrendous. So I didn't get the role that I initially auditioned for, but he wrote me in this Trinity so I could use my own accent, which is really nice.
That's awesome. And I love your accent, by the way. I love the British accent. I know I have one of my best friends that actually lives in England, and I never met him. We've known each other for over 13 years. He was like 13 and I was like 17. We met on this website called Fun Trivia in a wrestling group, and I was the moderator of the wrestling group. We became friends, and we became close friends ever since, and we talk almost every day for 13 years.
So you never met?
Never met. We have plans to meet, but we never met.
That's insane. That's going to be one hell of a meeting.
Yep, exactly. Like I mean, I've been through it all with him. Like I got seen him get married, like video and all that, and kids being born and everything. His wife didn't like that.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, we've been best friends for at least 13. I think this year might be 14 years. This past May or June. I think from my understanding. Yes, it's been a wild ride, and now I'm 31 and he's like, I think he just turned 25 in June. So yeah, June or July.
You guys are gonna have to make plans to meet really soon.
I know. We always said that our first time we're gonna meet is going to a WrestleMania.
Why not?
Absolutely, why not? So It's funny because on my YouTube, I do a Slasher Scotty News, and I didn't know this neither. And I'm like, that movie sounds familiar. Where did I hear that from? And I did a news story on the Poltergeist Diaries. This was probably back in May, I would say. I didn't do one in June, so probably May or April. I did one on the Poltergeist Diaries. I believe it was when the trailer premiered. I seen it on one of the horror websites. So, how did you get involved with the Poltergeist Diaries, and can you let us know what that movie is about?
So for the second question, I cannot. I'm sorry, I can't tell you very much about the Poltergeist Diaries. It's not. I don't want to get myself into trouble because I'm so bad.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
So, but it was really strange. I had the director Joseph on Facebook, and I saw he was casting for the Poltergeist Diaries, and it was super duper low budget, and obviously flying to England from England to Hungary costs. So we were talking. He was like, "Well, how about we do a scene just like this?
Mm-hmm.
You can record it, and then you can be sort of warning the main character about something." He sent me through a really decent sized monologue to perform to camera,
Nice.
but it was really fun actually. The monologue had like 50 different emotions going up and down, and I was like,
Nice.
oh my gosh, and I got to like the final line so many times, and I like blew it. I was like, no, I've got to do it all over again. But no, it was really nice to speak with Joseph about that, sort of trying to get around the travel thing. And again, his next movie, I was supposed to be in Hungary actually next week, but COVID travel restrictions. So we're doing the same again.
Hey, at least you're still getting roles and still able to film without even being on set, which is a plus, I guess.
It's really nice. Yeah.
Technology, right?
I know.
The beauty of technology. So back to Friday the 13th Vengeance. What was the best part about filming Friday the 13th Vengeance, and what was the worst?
Oh God, what a question. Okay. The best part was probably spending so long in Seattle. It was really nice to get a feel for the area. I was there for I think 10 weeks. I lived with the director Jeremy and his wife Stacy for the entirety of that duration. We had some really great laughs. And they sort of showed me around. Yeah, that was a great part. Also, everybody who I met as well. It was such a really close, tight-knit set. We all just had a really great time on that movie. The worst part about it, I don't even know. Well, the fact that I die and I can't come back.
Right.
For Vengeance 2.
That's true, because they are coming out with Vengeance 2 Bloodlines, which is going to be
exciting. That's the worst part.
I bet. So we'll get right into your death shortly, but I wanted to ask you, did you visit the Space Needle when you were in Seattle?
I really wanted to, but it was up for construction. It was having some sort of construction done because it has a restaurant at the top, right?
Right.
Yeah, yep. I really wanted to go up and eat there, and they were like, "Yeah, we're out for 2 weeks." I'm like, "No," but I saw it. I got there and I looked up at it. So
right, nice. So for those that haven't seen Vengeance, spoiler alert for those that didn't see it yet, but we know you die in Friday the 13th Vengeance. So can you tell us how do you die, and how was that death scene made? Like, what was the prep and the filming for it?
So I die. I'm probably like the least goriest death. So I get drowned by Jason Voorhees.
Right.
The scene is me and my boyfriend. We decided to go skinny dipping in Crystal Lake, which is never a good idea, is it?
Never.
Especially at night as well. So yeah, we started with the close-ups, and that was in a swimming pool. The pool was drained, and it was all blacked out. Water was added, and the owner of the pool kindly heated the pool for us, which was really nice.
Nice.
Because we spent a decent amount of time in there. And it was a bit of a whirlwind actually, because it's the first time I'd ever shot in water as well.
Right.
And they'd done such a great job of just blacking out the entire pool. And then when we went to shoot the wide shot, we were in an actual lake.
Okay.
And we had like one time to do this. So we ran in, we did our scenes, and my boyfriend, my on-screen boyfriend, should I say, needed to run out and go into the shore, leaving me in the water. And it always freaks me out when I think about it, because I was in this lake, naked, sort of like screaming for my boyfriend, and at the other side of the lake there must have been like a massive pack of wolves or wild dogs or something, and as I was screaming they all started howling, and then we heard all these splashes of water, so I was like, oh my god, they're gonna come and get me. So I was like, guys, can we cut? But we got it. It was so great. But yeah, like I said, it was a whirlwind because it just all happened so quickly. I just wish I could have taken more time to kind of sit there and be like,
Right.
this is what I'm doing. I need to remember this moment. But yeah, it was so great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, did you happen to work at all with Tommy McLaughlin, CJ Graham, and Steve Dash? And if so, what was it like working with them?
Unfortunately, I didn't get the pleasure of working with Steve Dash. He was in, I think it was the promo video.
Okay.
But I heard a lot of really great stories about him from several of the crew on set.
Yeah.
There was CJ Graham. Yes, I got to work with CJ.
Nice.
We had a lot of fun. He's a great guy. He's quite. The first time I met him, he was in costume, and it was quite intimidating. But he was the nicest guy. I was like, hi CJ, like, hi CJ, looking up to him like this. And he just came in and gave me a great big hug straight away. I was expecting like a handshake or whatever, but no, I got a great big hug straight away.
Nice.
Tommy McLaughlin, yes, I didn't have any scenes with him, but yes, I met him. He was a great guy. We had a couple of really great conversations. But yeah, everybody, like I said, everybody on that set was just so nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was my first time shooting in America as well. Everybody made me feel really welcome. I was kind of sort of like the imposter syndrome, because I was like, oh my god, I don't know anybody. They've all worked together before, but no, they was great. Yeah.
Awesome. I know I interviewed CJ and Tom McLaughlin, both are wonderful guys. And then I kept trying to get in touch with Tom Fridley, who played Court in Tommy McLaughlin's Friday the 13th film, and he never would respond to me. So I reached out to Tommy, because me and him became good friends, and he's like, you know what, I got this. So he maybe like an hour later, he's like, Mrs. Tom Fridley, he's waiting for your message now. I'm like, awesome.
Oh, that's so cool.
So he's a cool guy. And Steve Dash I never interviewed, but this was his last movie, Vengeance, before he sadly passed away, which is very sad. I really wanted to have an interview with him, but and I heard so many nice things about him from conventions and that. So it's sad, but I mean, at least he got to go out, with filming a Friday the 13th movie, being part of a Friday the 13th project, and that's really amazing, because he's one of the best Jasons, I believe, in my opinion. Like, he really did good as Jason. So for those that I already asked that question. So in your personal opinion, what is the best part about being an actress?
Oh, I never get to play the same character. Even if there's two characters similar who are completely emotionally drained or whatever, they both have different backstories. It's just, you can play an array of characters, you can have a lot of fun with it. It is tiring, but it's the best kind of tiring. And just I'm just a real people person. I love to meet people, and the fact that we're all working towards the same end result of making a movie or something that somebody's going to really enjoy watching one day. It's really exciting, you know.
It is. It can be very draining being an actor too, because especially if you're a method actor, because you go right into the role. Like, you know, if you're playing, I interviewed somebody, he became a good friend of mine. He's in my area and he's like in the indie films and that. And he's currently playing the role of a heroin addict, and he does now, he's not doing heroin or anything, but but he's like, he gets into the part, like he does a lot of research, and he doesn't eat as much, and he visits all these drug rehabilitation facilities. So being an actor, especially when you're into the method acting, like you really get into the part, and it becomes really, really draining in that. So do you do any of that? Are you a method actor, or how do you prepare for your parts?
Very much a method actor. There's been a role I've lost some weight for, nothing sort of extreme,
Right.
but I'm just trying to give an example to Grace. I mean, fight scenes, if I'm gonna get slapped, I say, you know, just slap me, because, you know, I want to have a natural reaction.
Right. Yep.
I don't know. I've never really worked any other way. I mean, obviously, I don't want you to punch me in the face, but
Right.
you
Or when
know,
Jason's drowning you, you don't really want him to drown you.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh. No, to be fair though, when he he just reminded me, when he was pushing me into the water, I didn't tell him that I was going to completely stop moving. He thought that we were going to cut. And he like pushed me, and I just went completely still. And just before they shouted cut, he was like, oh, like this. He like pulled me out of the water. I was like, what are you doing? I was drowning.
That's awesome.
Oh dear.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, but I'm very method. I'm really trying to think for an example right now, but I can't.
Right.
But yeah, it's just more of the little things. But if a role did come along where I needed to lose like a super amount of weight, I would definitely go for it. Obviously, consult a dietitian first. But
Right.
yeah, I would definitely go for something like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm assuming you're a horror fan. So what are your favorite horror movies, and what horror film got you into becoming a horror fan? Like, what got you into the genre?
I'm gonna say the first horror that I ever watched was Jaws, the original
Nice.
one. I was probably about 7. It didn't really scare me. I was just really, really intrigued.
Right.
I think from there on, it's been intrigue. I've always loved how the effects are made, especially when they're seriously realistic as well. Horror films, I mean, psychological, slasher, extreme. I mean, I'm a fan of every single sort of
Nice.
side alley
Nice.
of horror, if that makes sense.
Yeah, awesome. I know that I don't know the place off the top of my head, the name of it, or where it's located off the top of my head, but there's a place that you can watch Jaws every summer. And you're on rafts I don't know if it's in a lake or in a pool or whatever, of the drive-in theater, and you get to watch it on the big screen in rafts. Yes. And I heard the one year I read a report that like somebody yelled like during it, like in the middle of it out of nowhere, and it freaked everybody out. He goes, "Shark!"
Oh no, that's so funny.
Yeah, I forget where it's at. I read it online. I know it's somewhere in the US. I can't remember. And there is a meme that goes around about that movie too, that is made about that whole situation. After this is over and everything, I'll see if I can find the meme and show you it. I don't know if that's the same exact place, but I know a place does do it where you can sit in rafts and actually watch it in like a lake or in a pool or something.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh,
really,
I bet
really
that's
cool.
insane.
That would be such a cool experience.
Yeah.
So the last question I got for you is all about you. Do you have any other projects in the works that you would like to promote to the listening and viewing audience, as well as any social media accounts or websites?
Okay. So one that I really want to promote is definitely, it's nowhere near horror. It's actually fantasy / mystery.
Okay.
It's my own film. I wrote it, and we shot it about 5 weeks ago. I have a huge cast of about 33 children,
Oh, wow.
about 4 adults. and that is really heavy in post-production at the moment. It's a short film as a proof of concept for potentially a series or a feature film, but that's quite far ahead at the moment. We're looking to take it to festivals, but yeah, look out for In Blue Velvet. It's going to be awesome.
Nice.
Future films, there's not actually many that I can promote because they haven't been announced yet.
Right.
And I'm itching like to say something, but I can't. But I can totally promote films that are currently out right now.
Yeah.
Introspectum Motel that I shot in Romania. That's actually just been screened at Cannes in France. It's also available on Amazon.
Nice.
That is definitely not one to watch with children. Let's obviously Vengeance is available on YouTube.
Yep.
And Surprise, which was one of my first films, you can find on, I believe it's on Vimeo, just a quick search, Surprise, Laura Ellen Wilson. That's that. Social media, you can find me on Laura Ellen Wilson on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Nice. Awesome. Sounds great. And for those that want to keep up with Laura on anything that she has been doing, after this interview is obviously over, and you're watching to say if it's a year from now, and you want to see what she's up to and be a part of it, check out her IMDb, because her IMDb, I'm sure, will be updated with projects that have been announced that, she can promote and talk about and discuss.
Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome. I thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad. Thank you for reaching out. I am so glad to have you on my show and talk about Friday the 13th, of course, and some of your other projects and help you promote anything else that was coming out. It's been an honor talking to you. I had a great time.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.